Welcome to Pam Jammer's Regression Tales. We post new stories every week, so be sure to subscribe, like, and share to stay updated. Now, sit back, relax, and enjoy the story. The Sissy and the Savior. Chapter 1. The Reluctant Arrangement. Ethan sat in the back seat of his parents' car, gazing out the window as they pulled into the driveway of his Aunt Linda's house. The modest two-story home sat on a quiet suburban street, flanked by neatly trimmed hedges and a garden that seemed perpetually in bloom. Ethan's heart sank as the reality of his situation settled in. His parents were leaving for an extended mission trip overseas, and at 18, with no job or place to go, he was left with no choice but to stay with his aunt. Aunt Linda greeted them at the door with her usual warm, commanding presence. She was tall, strong, and broad-shouldered, with a natural air of authority. She wrapped Ethan in a firm hug, her deep voice echoing her delight. "Ethan, it's been too long. You've grown so much." Ethan gave a sheepish smile. "Thanks for letting me stay here, Aunt Linda." "Of course, sweetheart," she said, ruffling his hair. "This is your home for as long as you need it." Ethan's parents exchanged hurried goodbyes, their focus already on the trip ahead. His father clapped him on the back. "Be good, son. Listen to your aunt." His mother gave him a quick kiss on the cheek. "We'll call when we can." And just like that, they were gone, leaving Ethan alone with Aunt Linda. Linda showed Ethan to the guest room, a small but cozy space with a twin bed and a writing desk. It wasn't until he caught a glimpse of the door across the hall, slightly ajar, that his heart skipped a beat. Inside was the room that had belonged to his late cousin, Lily. Linda noticed his gaze. "That was Lily's room," she said softly. "I've kept it just as it was. It's comforting to me." "I'm sorry," Ethan said awkwardly, unsure of what else to say. Linda smiled gently. "Thank you, Ethan. I know you'll respect her space." Her tone was warm but firm, leaving no room for argument. Ethan nodded, though his curiosity was already piqued. He had always been fascinated by the outfits and items Lily used to wear, the frilly dresses, the diapers, and even the medical equipment she required due to her special needs. As a child, he had occasionally tried on some of her clothes when no one was looking, though he suspected Linda might have known. Linda clapped her hands, breaking his thoughts. "Well, let's get you settled in. Dinner's at 6. Don't forget to wash up." That night, after dinner, Ethan found himself lying in bed, unable to sleep. His mind kept drifting to Lily's room. He remembered the times he'd visited as a child, sneaking into her closet to marvel at the soft, girly clothes and thick diapers stacked neatly on the shelves. He felt a strange mix of nostalgia and nervous excitement. Eventually, curiosity got the better of him. He tiptoed across the hall, his heart pounding as he pushed open the door. The room was exactly as he remembered. Pink walls adorned with floral wallpaper, a canopy bed with soft, lace-trimmed bedding, and a closet filled with dresses and onesies. Ethan stepped inside, running his fingers over the delicate fabrics. He opened a drawer and found Lily's diapers, thick and crinkly, just as he remembered. On impulse, he pulled one out and held it, his cheeks flushing. He looked at the bed, noticing the limb restraints still attached to the corners. His heart raced. He knew he shouldn't, but the temptation was too strong. He slipped off his clothes, unfolded the diaper, and awkwardly taped it on. The sensation was both thrilling and comforting. Next, he chose a pink dress from the closet, slipping it over his head. It fit snugly, the soft fabric brushing against his skin. He climbed onto the bed, fastening the restraints around his ankles and one wrist. For the other wrist, he slid it into the strap without tightening it, giving himself the illusion of being fully restrained. Lying there, surrounded by the comforting scent of Lily's room and the sensation of the diaper and dress, Ethan felt an unexpected wave of peace. He drifted off to sleep, his mind filled with conflicting emotions. Ethan woke to the sensation of his free wrist being tightened into the restraint. His eyes flew open, and he gasped as he saw Aunt Linda leaning over him, her strong hands efficiently securing the strap. "Well," she said, her tone calm but firm, "I had a feeling something like this might happen." Ethan stammered, his face burning with shame. Sorry, Aunt Linda, I didn't mean." Linda silenced him with a raised hand. "We'll discuss this in the morning," she said. Her voice held no anger, but there was an undeniable authority in her words. Ethan's heart pounded as she leaned down, brushing a hand over his hair in an unexpectedly gentle gesture. "Good night, sweetheart," she said softly, her voice carrying a strange mix of affection and control. She turned off the light and closed the door, leaving Ethan alone in the dark. His emotions were a whirlwind, shame and guilt mixed with a strange thrill and anticipation, along with a hint of fear about what the morning would bring. Chapter 2. A New Morning. Ethan had been awake for hours, the early morning light slowly filling the room as he lay strapped in his late cousin's crib. His body was tense, and he shifted uncomfortably against the restraints. The need to relieve himself had grown unbearable during the night, but he stubbornly resisted, determined to maintain a shred of control over his situation. The snug fit of the diaper around his waist didn't make it any easier. It was a constant reminder of the humiliating predicament he had willingly placed himself in. The sound of the door creaking open startled him, and he quickly turned his head to see Linda entering the room. She carried an oversized baby bottle filled with warm milk, her expression calm and maternal. Ethan's heart sank as she approached the crib, her eyes scanning him with a mix of amusement and care. "Good morning, sweetheart," Linda greeted, her voice warm and soothing. Setting the bottle on the nightstand, she leaned over to inspect his diaper. Her experienced hands immediately noticed how loose the tapes were, and she clicked her tongue softly. "Well, it looks like someone didn't do a very good job putting on their diaper last night," she teased lightly, her tone carrying a hint of amusement. Ethan's face flushed red, and he turned his head away in embarrassment. "Don't worry, Auntie will take care of it. I'll make sure it's nice and snug for you." She gently unfastened the tapes, adjusting the diaper into its proper position with practiced ease. Her hands worked quickly, smoothing the tapes down firmly to ensure a secure fit. Ethan squirmed slightly, both embarrassed and oddly comforted by her attention. "There we go," Linda said with a satisfied smile. "All better now. You don't need to worry about anything. I'll take care of you from now on." Ethan avoided her gaze, feeling a mix of emotions he couldn't quite sort out. Linda reached for the bottle and sat down on a small chair beside the crib. She leaned closer, holding the bottle to his lips. "Drink up, sweetheart," she encouraged gently. "This will help you feel better." Ethan hesitated for a moment before accepting the bottle. The warm milk was soothing, and as he began to suckle, the tension in his body began to ease. Linda watched him with a tender smile, brushing a strand of hair from his forehead. "You know, Ethan," she began, her tone thoughtful, "I've been thinking a lot about why you're here, why God sent you to me." She paused, studying his face for a reaction. Ethan avoided her gaze, focusing on the bottle in his mouth, though his cheeks reddened slightly. "I think it's because you've been needing something," she continued softly. "You've always been such a sweet, sensitive child. But your parents, well, they've been so busy with their missionary work that I don't think you've ever gotten the attention and care you truly deserved." Ethan's eyes flicked up to meet hers briefly, his expression conflicted. Linda's gaze was warm and understanding. "And maybe," she added gently, "you wanted that care. Maybe you needed it. Isn't that right?" Ethan hesitated, the bottle still in his mouth, before nodding slowly. Linda smiled, her expression full of affection. She reached out to stroke his hair, her touch soothing and maternal. "I've always known, Ethan," she said softly. "When you were younger, you weren't as discreet as you thought. I noticed the little things, the way you'd sneak into her room, try on her clothes, and touch the diapers. I never said anything because I didn't want to embarrass you. But I knew." Ethan's face burned with embarrassment, and he instinctively tried to pull the bottle away, but Linda gently guided it back to his lips. "Shh," she murmured. "It's okay, sweetheart. I understand now. I think God was giving us both a sign when your parents sent you to stay with me, a sign that we both needed this." She tilted the bottle slightly, encouraging him to drink more. "I've been so lost since she passed," Linda admitted, her voice tinged with sadness. "But having you here, it feels like God's way of giving me a second chance, a way to bring comfort and healing to both of us." Ethan blinked back tears as he finished the last of the milk. Linda removed the bottle and set it aside, leaning closer to press a soft kiss to his forehead. "I'll take care of you, Ethan," she said firmly. "You don't have to worry about anything anymore. I'll make sure you're loved and safe. just like she was. Ethan nodded again, a mixture of shame, comfort, and uncertainty swirling within him. Linda reached into her pocket and retrieved a pacifier. She held it up, her smile warm but expectant. "Now, I want you to suck on this for a little while," she said, placing the pacifier gently in his mouth. "It'll help you relax and think about everything we've talked about." Ethan hesitated, but as the soft rubber nipple filled his mouth, he found himself instinctively suckling. Linda beamed, stroking his hair gently. "There's my sweet girl," she said softly. Standing up, she smoothed her skirt and brushed her hands together. "I'll leave you here to think about everything," she said with a kind smile. "I'll be back in a little while." As she walked to the door, she glanced back one last time. "You're exactly where you're meant to be, sweetheart." With that, she stepped out of the room, leaving Ethan alone in the crib. The quiet settled over him, and the weight of her words sank in. The snug diaper around his waist reminded him of his situation, and as he shifted, the pressure in his bladder became too much to bear. Despite his best efforts to hold it in, he felt the warm stream release into the diaper. His face burned with humiliation, but there was nothing he could do to stop it. As he lay there, staring at the ceiling, a wave of mixed emotions washed over him: shame, thrill, anticipation, and fear. He sucked on the pacifier, its rhythmic comfort slowly lulling him into a strange sense of calm. Chapter 3: A Fresh Start. The door to the nursery creaked open, and Linda stepped in with a warm smile. Ethan was already awake, sitting nervously in the crib, the pacifier bobbing slightly in his mouth. His cheeks turned a deep shade of pink as Linda approached, her imposing figure casting a gentle yet commanding presence over the room. She was taller, broader, and clearly stronger than him, a stark contrast that made Ethan feel even smaller. "Good morning, sweetheart," Linda cooed, resting a hand on the crib railing. "I hope you're ready for the day." Ethan squirmed slightly, clutching the pacifier tighter with his lips. He felt embarrassed to admit how nervous he was, but nodded faintly as Linda unlocked the crib rail and effortlessly lifted him out with ease, her arms steady and sure. "There we go, my little girl," she said, holding him close for a moment before setting him on the padded changing table. Despite his size, Linda moved him as though he weighed nothing, her strength both comforting and humbling. Ethan's diaper crinkled loudly as he shifted under her firm yet gentle guidance. Linda smoothed down the front of his dress with an affectionate touch and gave him a warm smile. "Well, let's get my sweet girl ready for the day," she said brightly, her tone as cheerful as ever. With practiced ease, Linda began unfastening the buttons on the back of his dress. Ethan shivered as she slipped it over his head, leaving him in just the thick diaper. Linda reached into a drawer and pulled out a pair of soft, padded, white mittens. They had thick straps at the wrists and buckles designed to ensure they stayed securely in place. Ethan's eyes widened as he stared at them, his cheeks flushing. "These are safety mittens," Linda explained, slipping one onto his hand with ease. "Lily always wore these so she wouldn't tamper with her diaper. They kept her safe, and they'll do the same for you." Ethan whimpered softly around his pacifier as she buckled the first mitten in place, then the second. His hands felt bulky and helpless inside the padded coverings, and he could barely flex his fingers. Linda gave his hand a gentle pat, the thick padding muffling the sound. "There now," she said, her tone warm. "All snug. Now let's get that diaper fixed." She began undoing the diaper tapes with a soft rip, revealing his damp skin. Linda smiled and gave him an affectionate pat on the thigh. "Oh, what a big wetter you are. You did a good job going in your diaper like you're supposed to. That's my good girl." Her tone was soothing as she cleaned him with warm, damp wipes, her touch both gentle and thorough. The coolness of the wipes made him squirm slightly, but Linda's steady presence kept him grounded. "Now, let's make sure you're all protected and comfy for the day," she said, reaching for a thick, white diaper. She unfolded it with a practiced snap, sliding it under him and adjusting it carefully. Before taping it up, she squeezed a generous amount of diaper rash cream onto her fingers and began rubbing it into his skin. "This is very important," Linda explained as she worked. "We don't want any rashes or irritation. Lily never had a single one, and I intend to keep it that way for you too." Ethan's face burned as she sprinkled a light dusting of powder over him, the familiar scent filling the air. She then secured the tapes with precision, giving the front of the diaper an affectionate pat. "There we go," she said with satisfaction. "All nice and snug. Let's get you dressed." Linda pulled out a pale pink bra from the wardrobe, adjusting the straps to fit him perfectly. Ethan blushed as she helped him into it, the sensation unfamiliar but oddly comforting. "Lily always wore a bra," Linda said with a smile. "It's part of what makes her, and now you look and feel so lovely." Next came the outfit, a pale yellow dress with frilly lace trim and a bow at the waist. Linda helped him into it, the soft fabric brushing against his skin. The hemline barely covered his diaper, leaving the crinkling edges peeking out when he moved. To complete the look, Linda handed him a pair of white frilly socks and shiny black Mary Jane shoes, which she fastened securely on his feet. She knelt down to tie perfect little bows in his hair and painted his nails in a soft shade of pink, smiling warmly as she worked. When she was done, she stepped back to admire her handiwork. "You look absolutely precious, my sweet girl." Ethan caught his reflection in the mirror and felt a flutter of conflicting emotions. He barely recognized himself, yet the sight filled him with a strange sense of satisfaction. The combination of soft fabrics, pastel colors, and his aunt's tender care made him feel safe in a way he hadn't experienced in years. Linda knelt down in front of him, her expression tender. "Ethan, I want you to know that this is where you belong. I believe with all my heart that this is God's plan for us. Your parents love you, but their work has kept them so busy that they've never been able to give you the attention you deserve, and I've missed having someone to care for. Don't you see? This is what we both need." Ethan hesitated, the pacifier bobbing slightly as he processed her words. Slowly, he nodded, his eyes wide and shimmering. Linda beamed and kissed his forehead. "Good girl. Now, let's go downstairs for breakfast." She took his mitten-covered hand and led him out of the room, the crinkling of his diaper and the swish of his dress filling the quiet hallway. As they descended the stairs, Ethan felt a curious mix of emotions: embarrassment, anticipation, and a growing sense of comfort. For the first time, he began to wonder if this was exactly where he was meant to be. Chapter 4. A New Morning. Ethan sat in the oversized high chair, the harness snug around his chest and the straps securing his arms and legs. The smooth padding beneath him felt oddly comforting, and the tray locked in place in front of him made him feel safely confined. As Linda fastened the final buckle, she stepped back to admire him with a warm smile. "There we go, my sweet girl, all snug and ready for breakfast," she said, gently patting his cheek before placing a bib around his neck. The soft fabric brushed against his chin, and the embroidered words "Mummy's Angel" made his cheeks flush. Linda bustled around the kitchen, preparing his food, while Ethan stared down at the tray in front of him, memories bubbling to the surface. The high chair was larger than the one he saw years ago, updated for Lily as she grew up, but the similarities were enough to stir feelings he hadn't felt in years. Unable to resist, Ethan reached up and popped the pacifier out of his mouth, his voice soft and uncertain. "I used to wish I could sit in Lily's old high chair when I was little," he admitted, glancing at Linda nervously. "It just seemed nice, I guess." Linda paused, her eyes sparkling with affection as she turned to face him. "Oh, did you now?" she teased, setting a small bowl of oatmeal on the tray. "I had a feeling you felt that way. You were always so curious whenever you came to visit. I could tell you wanted the same attention Lily got." Ethan blushed, feeling exposed but strangely relieved that Linda understood. She knelt down to meet his eyes, brushing a stray lock of hair from his face. "Well, sweetheart, now you have it. You're safe here, and you have my full attention. This is our time together." A warm feeling spread through Ethan's chest as Linda picked up the spoon and began to feed him. Each bite was accompanied by gentle encouragement or playful coos, and the oatmeal's warmth soothed him. The confines of the high chair, combined with Linda's undivided attention, made him feel completely cared for in a way he hadn't realized he'd been yearning for. "This feels nice," Ethan said after a few spoonfuls. "I'm glad, sweet girl," Linda said, her smile soft and genuine. "You deserve this care. It's what God intended for us." As breakfast went on, Ethan felt himself relaxing further into the routine. Linda cleaned his face with the bib when he was done, praising him for being such a good girl. She removed the tray and unbuckled him, helping him down from the chair with the same ease she always displayed. Ethan smiled faintly, savoring the feeling of being doted on. But as he toddled towards the living room, the oatmeal settled in his stomach, and he felt an unmistakable pressure building. Ethan froze, clutching his mitten-covered hands to his chest, shifting nervously from foot to foot. Linda noticed his hesitation and stopped in her tracks. "What's wrong, sweetheart?" she asked gently. Ethan hesitated, his cheeks burning as he reached up and awkwardly pulled the pacifier from his mouth. I need to go," he stammered. "Like, number 2. Linda smiled warmly and knelt down to meet his gaze. "It's okay, sweetheart," she said gently. "That's what your diaper is for. Just let it happen. You're safe." Ethan bit his lip, his embarrassment palpable. He wanted to argue, but the weight of the moment left him frozen. Slowly, he relaxed, the pressure building until there was no holding back. Warmth spread through the seat of his diaper, and the squishy sensation made his face burn even brighter. Linda noticed his flushed cheeks and gave him a knowing smile. "Good girl," she praised, patting his bottom gently. "You did just what you were supposed to. Now, let's get you cleaned up." Ethan's mortification didn't lessen as Linda led him back to the nursery, the crinkling of his diaper more pronounced now. She lifted him onto the changing table with ease, her strength once again making him feel small and safe. "All right, sweetheart," Linda said brightly as she began the process of changing him. She unfastened the tapes with practiced efficiency, folding the soiled diaper and setting it aside. The cool wipes against his skin made him shiver, but her touch was gentle and reassuring. "We'll use extra powder this time," she murmured, reaching for the familiar container. "Can't have my sweet girl getting a rash." Ethan relaxed slightly as she dusted the powder over him, the scent filling the room. She slid a fresh, thick diaper under him, securing it snugly before giving the front an affectionate pat. "All clean and ready for the day," Linda declared, her voice warm. As Ethan sat up, Linda began rummaging through the closet. She pulled out a pale blue dress with lace trim and a matching bow for his hair. "This will be perfect for today," she said, helping him into the outfit with ease. Once he was fully dressed, complete with frilly socks and shiny black Mary Janes, Linda took a step back to admire him. "Absolutely precious," she said, her eyes twinkling. Ethan glanced at himself in the mirror, his reflection making him feel both shy and oddly content. The soft fabrics, the attention to detail, it all felt like being wrapped in a cocoon of care. As they made their way to the living room, Linda's tone became more thoughtful. "Ethan," she began, "I've been thinking, if we're going to go out, we'll need to make a few changes." Ethan glanced at her nervously, the pacifier still in his mouth. "You'll need to look like Lily," Linda continued, her voice calm but resolute. "We'll start going to a new church, one where nobody knows us. I'll introduce you as my special needs daughter. That way, we can both continue this journey without anyone questioning us." Ethan's eyes widened, and Linda knelt in front of him, her expression soft. "Don't worry, sweetheart, I'll take care of everything. We'll make sure you're perfect." Ethan nodded slowly, his heart pounding as Linda stroked his cheek. Though the idea filled him with apprehension, the warmth in her gaze made him feel secure. For better or worse, this was his new reality. Chapter 5. A New Routine. The days began to blur together as Ethan and Linda settled into their new lifestyle. Each morning, Linda would come into the nursery to wake him, always with a warm smile and a cheerful greeting. She would check his diaper, now always wet, and sometimes messy, before leading him to the high chair for breakfast. The high chair's harness and limb straps had become a familiar part of Ethan's mornings, and he found their snugness oddly comforting. Breakfasts were often accompanied by Linda's gentle teasing, as she cooed over him and encouraged him to finish every bite of the oatmeal or pureed fruit she prepared. "Good girl," she would say, patting his cheek. "You're eating so well for mommy." Ethan would blush at the praise but couldn't help the warmth it stirred inside him. After breakfast, Linda would change him into a fresh diaper and pick out one of Lily's old outfits, usually a frilly dress or a romper with pastel patterns. As the weeks went by, Ethan noticed himself relaxing more and more into this new routine. The tension he used to feel about using his diapers had gradually faded, replaced by a strange sort of acceptance. At first, he had still been aware of when he needed to go, but now he barely noticed until Linda pointed out his condition during a change. "You're doing so well, sweet girl," Linda said one morning as she powdered him after a change. "This is exactly how Lily was, completely carefree. You're learning to trust me to take care of everything." Ethan nodded, his pacifier bobbing slightly as he sucked on it. It was true. He didn't feel the need to worry about much anymore. Linda's constant attention and care made him feel safe, and the monotony of their days together had become a strange comfort. After his morning changes, Linda always sat him down for their daily Bible study. She would read passages aloud, explaining their meanings and encouraging Ethan to reflect on them. At first, Ethan had been unsure about diving back into the faith his parents had tried to instill in him, but Linda's gentle approach made it easier. Her love for the scriptures was infectious, and he found himself enjoying the time they spent together, even if he didn't always agree with everything she said. "God brought you to me for a reason, Ethan," Linda said one day as she closed the Bible. "I've always believed that, and the more time we spend together, the more I'm convinced that this is his plan for both of us." Ethan nodded again, his pacifier muffling his response. Linda reached over to brush a stray curl from his face, her expression soft and maternal. "You're such a blessing to me, sweetheart. I hope you know that." One afternoon, after their Bible study, Linda sat Ethan down on the couch for a quiet conversation. "There's something I've been meaning to tell you," she began, her tone gentle but serious. "I've been adding a little something extra to your bottles each day." Ethan looked at her curiously, his brow furrowing behind his pacifier. "It's a hormone called estrogen," Linda explained. "It's something Lily took, too, to help her body become more feminine. I thought it would be good for you as well, to help you feel more like her." Ethan blinked, processing her words. "What does it do?" he asked, pulling the pacifier from his mouth. "It will help your body change," Linda said with a smile. "Your chest will start to grow, your hips will widen, and your voice might soften a bit. All things that will make you look and feel more like Lily." To Linda's surprise, Ethan didn't protest. Instead, a shy smile spread across his face. "Really?" he asked quietly. Linda nodded. "Really, I thought it might make you happy, but if you don't want me to—" "No," Ethan interrupted, shaking his head. I like the idea. Thank you." Linda beamed, reaching over to pull him into a warm hug. "You're such a good girl," she murmured, stroking his hair. "I'm so proud of you." The days continued with this new understanding between them, and Ethan found himself looking forward to the changes Linda described. He began to notice small differences in his body, a slight tenderness in his chest, a softness to his features, and each change filled him with a mixture of excitement and curiosity. Though the monotony of their routine might have seemed stifling to an outsider, Ethan felt a deep sense of peace in the predictability of his days. He was cared for, he was loved, and for the first time in his life, he felt truly seen. Chapter 6: A Community of Faith. Weeks turned into months, and Ethan, now fully embracing the name Lily, settled into his new life with Aunt Linda. Their days were filled with a comforting routine of care, devotion, and introspection, while the bond between them grew stronger. Lily found a sense of peace she hadn't known before, her soul uplifted by Linda's unwavering support and the stability of their life together. One Sunday morning, Linda walked into the nursery with a joyful expression. "Wake up, sweetheart," she said, gently brushing Lily's hair from her face. "Today's a special day. We're going to a new church." Lily blinked sleepily, her pacifier bobbing in her mouth. Linda's excitement was contagious, and though she felt nervous, she trusted her aunt completely. Linda dressed her in an elegant white dress with lace trim and a soft blue sash, tying her hair into delicate braids adorned with ribbons. The finishing touches, a frilly bonnet and matching gloves, completed the look. As Lily glanced in the mirror, she hardly recognized herself, but the reflection felt right in a way she couldn't fully explain. At the church, Linda introduced Lily as her special needs daughter, a story she had carefully prepared. The congregation welcomed them warmly, their kindness and understanding putting Lily at ease. As the service began, Linda held Lily's hand, guiding her through hymns and prayers. The pastor spoke of acceptance, renewal, and the love of God, a message that resonated deeply with Lily. In the weeks that followed, church became a regular part of their lives. The congregation embraced Lily without question, Seeing her as a quiet, sweet-natured young woman devoted to her faith, Linda always made sure Lily felt included, helping her participate in community events and Bible studies. The pacifier Lily kept in her mouth became a comforting presence, her silence a reflection of her humility and trust in those around her. One evening, as they sat together in the living room after dinner, Linda turned to Lily with a thoughtful expression. "Sweetheart," she began gently, "I've been talking with your parents." Lily's heart skipped a beat. Though she loved the life she shared with Linda, a part of her always wondered what her parents would think of the changes she'd undergone. "They're so proud of you," Linda continued, taking Lily's mittened hands in her own. "They've agreed that this arrangement is what's best for everyone. They see how happy and healthy you are here, and they trust me to take care of you." Lily felt tears welling up in her eyes, her heart swelling with a mixture of relief and gratitude. Linda smiled warmly, brushing a tear from Lily's cheek. "But the most important thing," she said, her voice soft with emotion, "is that you've renewed your faith in God. That's what matters most. You've found peace, Lily, and that's a blessing." Lily nodded, her pacifier bobbing as she looked up at Linda with shining eyes. For the first time in her life, she felt truly at home, not just in Linda's house, but in her own skin and her relationship with God. Linda wrapped her arms around Lily, holding her close. "This is your life now, my sweet girl," she whispered, "and I couldn't be prouder of the person you've become." As they sat together in the quiet glow of the evening, Lily felt an overwhelming sense of gratitude for Linda, for her parents' understanding, and for the journey that had led her to this moment. Her heart was full, her soul at peace, and her faith stronger than ever. Thanks so much for watching today. We hope you enjoyed this week's story and found it relatable, informative, or just a little comforting. Remember, we post new videos every week, so if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. If you found this helpful or know someone who might, don't forget to like the video and share it with your community. Your support means everything and helps us keep creating content just for you. Until next time, take care and stay true to yourself.